Barbie! 9-year-old Zack Goller would be judging the hell out of me right now. But this is brought to you by the director of Lady Bird, an awesome movie, Greta Gerwig. This is a script that she wrote alongside her husband, Noah Baumbach, who brought you Marriage Story. Oh no, I'm gonna cry at this movie, aren't I? So what do we got here? Barbie and Ken, played by Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling respectively. Perfect casting, might I add. They're having the time of their lives in the colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land. But when they get a chance to go into the real world, they soon discover that the joys and perils of living among humans are more real than they could have ever imagined. And not everything is as perfect as they were led to believe. Now look, okay, I'm a 26-year-old man. I knew that this was going to be a good movie just looking at the cast list and the director and the writing that was attached. I did not nearly think that Barbie was going to be this great, because this script is so self-aware, and it's a hefty script that is tackling so much subject matter. This has got themes of existentialism, anxiety, feminism for sure, and I think it handles a lot of this material in a very clever and intelligent way, but it never really goes about it in a way that insults the audience's intelligence, and as a man, I never felt insulted watching this movie by any stretch. I actually found this movie pretty damn hilarious. Great scripts from Greta Gerwig and her husband also means you're gonna have great direction from Greta Gerwig. If you've ever seen Lady Bird or the remake of Little Women, if you've never seen a movie from Greta Gerwig before, oh man, you're in for a treat. Because there is so much energy being thrown into all facets of production. The dream houses are so freaking colorful. The costumes, oh my god, the costumes. These production elements are legitimately Oscar worthy. Matter of fact, I think there's a lot of elements in this Barbie movie that are definitely Oscar contenders. Again, I can't believe I'm saying this right now. This includes the oh so energetic Margot Robbie, who is just as bubbly and beautiful as you would want the stereotypical Barbie to be. And her casting also plays into a very clever joke that had me in stitches, also involving the narrator, voiced by Helen Mirren. Oh my god. This movie was so funny. Margot Robbie has got the audience in the palm of her hand from the opening scene. And this was a jam-packed theater. Everybody was super invested in what this Barbie was doing walking around Los Angeles. Which again, this kind of sounds like a sort of hybrid live-action Lego movie style concept if you really think about it. But this movie, I feel like, is so much deeper than that. The subject matter is handled on a lot more of a mature level. Definitely not a movie that's catered towards children. I'll definitely tell you that much. From the starting video montage all the way up to the final word of the script, which had me practically applauding in the theater, like, yeah, Margot Robbie definitely Oscar worthy. If she gets nominated, that will make me so incredibly happy. Also, in regards to Ryan Gosling as stereotypical Ken here, again, not gonna spoil every little facet of his performance, but he's just Ken. And sometimes that's just Ken-ough. I'm gonna stop right now. And it was clear in Margot Robbie's performance, but when you look at Ryan Gosling in this movie, you can just tell that everybody across the board is having so much freaking fun with this. And sad to say, there will be a lot of people that relate to Ken and what he's going through in this. All these actors they got for this movie are so freaking awesome. America Ferrera, really awesome in this film. Kate McKinnon plays this weird Barbie whose head was all buzzed off and they played with her too hard. And she was so freaking funny in this. Dare I mention Simu Liu as another Ken variant, if we're going to use the Marvel term. I'm so happy to see him thriving. He just deserves so freaking much, and he deserves a storied career filled with roles like this, working with directors like this. Again, please give Simu Liu more work. He was so freaking entertaining. So many Oscar-worthy things about this movie. I hope this movie gets nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, because let's face it, this is dealing with a lot of very Oscar-baity subject matter, like feminism, like existentialism, as I've mentioned. But again, I can't help but feel like the Academy might look at this and see Mattel, of all things, making fun of themselves in this movie, and they may decide to recognize it. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if Barbie winds up with a whole bunch of nominations. Whether it be for adapted screenplay, production design, costume design, performance-wise, hell, even direction. Definitely look out for Best Original Song to be nominated here with something that comes up in the third act, because... yeah, yeah, I was tapping my feet along with that song. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I really freaking loves this movie. Now, there is one element that I have failed to mention up to this point, that being Will Ferrell playing the president of Mattel. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I am a humongous fan of Will Ferrell. I've found him so freaking entertaining in past movies going into the mid-2000s. Elf, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights. I love him in all those movies. I think he's hilarious. But I don't know if the material that was written for Will Ferrell was working for me. Granted, there were times where I chuckled at him, but it's like this, right? Barbie Land is so freaking over the top and cartoonish, and everybody is moving around like plastic dolls. And they're talking like they're living in a perfect Barbie world, right? But then you go into the Mattel headquarters where you have this stuck-up president played by Will Ferrell with a stick up his ass. That can be played for a lot of really great comedy, and it would also be a challenge for Will Ferrell. It would allow him to play against type. But I feel like the comedy that was written in the Mattel section of the movie, it was almost a bit too silly. I definitely wanted a bit more of a contrast between Barbie Land and Mattel itself, because when you look at Will Ferrell, it's almost like they could merge together and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And that's kind of unfortunate, but you know what? Everything else about this movie is just so freaking good that it's kind of easy to forgive that little flaw. Is every character in Barbie as interesting as you'd want them to be? Absolutely not. Does every joke hit a home run? Hell no. But I think this movie goes above and beyond my expectations for the subject IP. I think you have perfect casting across the board, especially with Robbie and Gosling. A very clever script that deals with a lot heavier subject matter than I would expect. And a finale that oddly got me kind of choked up. And I was like, am I choking up at a Barbie movie? What's going on here? But I would say that this is a perfect summer movie. Greta Gerwig has done it again. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are lightning in a bottle together. And I think this is going to hold up as one of the most entertaining movies of the entire year. I'm going to give Barbie an A-. This is a movie that's going to be talked about for years to come, which for the subject matter that's at hand here, kudos to this movie, man. Guys, I love discussing all new things in movies and entertainment here on the regular. This channel is the place to be if you want to keep up to date with all those fun topics. So do consider becoming a subscriber and tap on that like button on your way out. Really helps continue to grow this awesome community out here. Guys, stay tuned for more videos very soon. That is one half of one of the greatest double features of all time. And tomorrow night, at the time of recording, I'm going to go check out Oppenheimer in IMAX. I cannot freaking wait. It's a good time to be a fan of the movies, and y'all are invited to my party. So with all that being said, back talk, commence.